Building confidence is about consistently taking small steps to help you trust yourself deeply. It's not about feeling good all the time, but rather feeling capable and worthy and resilient, even when you feel bad or you face challenges. Hello, my name is Julie and welcome back to my channel. And before I teach you how to build your own confidence, I would like to point out one difference between self-esteem and confidence. Self-esteem is internal. It's how we think of ourselves and how we feel about ourselves, and often it's reflected with the way we talk about ourselves. However, confidence is external. It's how we feel about our abilities and our skills, and it's often reflected in our experiences and our success. So while self-esteem is more like the foundation, our confidence is more like the action. And it's very common for people to have one and not the other. So you can have high self-esteem and low confidence, or high confidence and low self-esteem. One of those examples is you can have high self-esteem in which you feel like you're worthy, but then you have low confidence when it comes to public speaking because you haven't mastered the skill, you haven't practiced it, you're not confident in your ability to speak publicly to people. That doesn't mean that you're not worthy, it just means you're not confident yet in your ability. And you can have someone else that has high confidence, for example, in their job, they're great at what they do, they believe in their ability that they can work their asses off, but they have low self-esteem when it comes to relationships and they feel like they're not worthy enough to be loved. So now you might be thinking, okay, which one do I focus on? Do I start with my self-esteem or do I start with my confidence? See, if you start with building and working on your self-esteem, then essentially you're just building a foundation for unconditional self-worth, which means that your identity is no longer tied to an outcome. You can try, you can fail, you can learn. It doesn't matter because you're still worthy as you are. Working on our self-esteem first helps us with handling rejection and mistakes better. It helps us with being less anxious when it comes to trying new things. And also, it helps us learn how to take healthier risks and risks that align with our values and our worth. However, if you choose to focus on building your confidence first, then essentially you're focusing on things that challenge you and building new skills and abilities. And along the way, you will have small wins that over time will build proof for you. And that proof is used when it comes to your belief system. So whatever belief that tells you that now, you're becoming more confident, more capable, more resilient, now you have proof based off of those small wins. And over time, when that belief becomes stronger, that you are confident, that you are resilient, you are worthy, then you're also essentially focusing on building your self-esteem in the process. The good thing is that you gain momentum as you're building those skills and you feel more confident in your ability. But if you do have imposter syndrome, which I do, then sadly, even though you're building that confidence and you're building your abilities, you can still end up feeling like a fraud because your sense of worth is not being built at the same rate as your confidence. So the best strategy to follow when it comes to building your confidence, if you don't have high self-esteem, is to also build your self-esteem at the same time. So that way you're focusing on your internal changes and your external changes. The best way to do that is to combine both tools to build your self-esteem and to build your confidence. Nevertheless, you know yourself best. So if you feel like you have high self-esteem but low confidence, then you can just focus on tools to help you build that confidence. But if you feel like you like both, then you can incorporate both tools. So let's get started with 5 ways to build your confidence, and then we'll get into 5 ways to build your self-esteem. Number 1, you need to build your skills to become more confident. So whatever skill that you're focusing on, let's go back to public speaking, then first of all, you got to read about it. You got to learn. You got to educate yourself, whether it's through research, through books, through podcasts, through videos. Keep teaching yourself, keep learning, and build that skill through experience as well. So work in the field or try to public speak. 2, track your wins. Remember how we said that with small wins over time, you start to build proof for that belief that you're capable and worthy and confident, and then you become confident? Exactly. So track your wins, even if they're small, write them down and look at them over time, and you'll slowly start to see that you're building your abilities through experience and success. 3, don't avoid fear. See, here's the thing. Being confident doesn't mean that you're fearless. It just means that you trust yourself, that you will overcome challenges despite having fear. So when it comes to being confident and you feel scared, it's not about listening to fear or even avoiding the fear, but rather being brave enough to come face to face with it and saying, you know what? Although I'm feeling scared, I'm still going to do it. I'm going to try my best. And again, the more you start to do that and you start to break the habit of avoiding or even listening to your fear, and you're just facing it, you're confronting that fear, you build that confidence. And that fear stops being scary as it used to be before. 4, if you want to be confident, you have to allow yourself to be bad and to make mistakes, because everyone starts from somewhere and no one started, being a master in their craft. We all made mistakes. We all did bad things. However, through that experience and then learning from our failures, we reach success. So instead of judging yourself for every mistake that you do, rather be compassionate and understand that everyone makes mistakes, especially when they're first starting out. And that doesn't mean that you're bad and you're unworthy and you're not capable. It just means that you gotta learn from the mistake that you did and try again. 5, lastly, and I think most importantly, is you gotta build that trust with yourself by keeping promises to yourself. Confidence is about self-trust. It's about knowing that even when things are going bad, you're still capable. You can still do it. And one of the ways that you can teach yourself how to trust yourself is through keeping promises to yourself. So if you told yourself you're gonna wake up early the next day, wake up early. Fulfill your own promise to yourself. And that way you're training your brain to trust yourself. Whenever you say something, you're gonna end up doing it. If you say you're gonna work out, go work out. You say you're gonna register into a course, register into that course. Your actions and your words need to match for you to start building that self-trust. Okay, and now what are 5 ways I can build my self-esteem? Number 1, learn how to be compassionate to yourself. And you're going to need that. Because again, if we go back to confidence, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things badly at first. And if you're gonna keep criticizing yourself and speaking badly to yourself, you cannot build that self-esteem. And you're going to quit when you start making mistakes. Being self-compassionate is about speaking to yourself kindly. Number 2, celebrate who you are. You are worthy just as you are. And you have to show that to yourself by celebrating exactly who you are as today and not waiting until once you're confident or once you learn a specific skill and you have specific achievements to celebrate yourself. 3, you have to heal that inner critic. That person inside of you that tells you you're not good enough, you suck, you'll never make it. You have to heal them. And one of the ways that you heal them is by confronting them, just like fear. Because the thing is, that inner critic is coming up to you and telling you all these bad things about yourself. If you're staying quiet and saying nothing, you're basically telling them they're right. Oh, I suck? Okay. That's how it sounds like. So when you have that inner critic come up, confront them. If they tell you that you're not good enough, tell them, you know what? I am good enough as I am. Yes, I'm not perfect, but no one is. And at least I try. At least I learn. At least I aim for the best when it comes to myself. And that makes me good enough. You gotta confront that inner critic. And when they tell you you're not good or you're not worthy, you gotta shut them down. You gotta reframe that perspective. Number 4, use your affirmations. Affirmations can help you feel better, especially when you're feeling down or you're feeling bad. Telling yourself that you are loved, you are worthy, you are enough. You mean everything to me, and that's all that matters. Those affirmations can push you and help you when it comes to your self-esteem. And lastly, number 5, do your daily check-ins, especially when it comes to building your self-esteem, because you're gonna have days you feel amazing, but then you're also gonna have days where you don't feel as amazing. And instead of ignoring yourself and ignoring those feelings, it's important that we just talk to ourselves. We kind of go over the day. What happened? How are we feeling? If you're not feeling worthy or good enough because something happened that day, then confront it. Reframe the perspective. If that critic is coming up, confront them. Tell them it's not right. It's okay. Bad things happen, but that doesn't mean that you're not worthy or you're bad because something bad happened. Whether you choose to focus on your self-esteem first, your confidence, or do both at the same time, both are important. So a question I get often is, can you fake your confidence until you make it? And the answer is, some people can, but mostly no. Here's the thing, some people are able to build their confidence through faking it because when they're pretending to be confident, they're changing their behavior. And when you change your behavior, it's going to reflect in your emotions. And then it's also going to reflect in your beliefs. So that changed behavior starts making them believe that they are confident as people. And therefore, they become more confident. However, the majority of us don't know how to fake confidence well, because faking confidence and practicing confidence are two different things. See, most of us, and I've done that too, we put on the confident mask, in which in front of people we appear to be confident, but then when we're alone, or even deep down inside of us, we feel hollow and empty and unworthy. And therefore, that mask, once you take it off, you're no longer confident. Second, if you have imposter syndrome, it also doesn't help, because when you're faking your confidence, deep down you start telling yourself that you're a fraud. You're not confident. And therefore, you start to sometimes self-sabotage, or it leads to burnout. And it leads to you going back to step one. And the other issue is that when you fake your confidence and you're not learning how to build that skill, in the future, when you try to learn a new skill or gain confidence in a new ability, you're not going to know how to do that properly because you have faked it before instead of learning how to build that confidence. So now, instead of faking your own confidence, you've learned how to build it and also build your self-esteem if you need that too. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you've enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.